Our story begins early in 1973 with the opening of Fredbear's Family Diner. The place was opened by none other than Henry, I'm going to say Fazbear because no one knows his last name, and William Afton. The place has only one animatronic known as Fredbear. Fredbear uses takes cake to children to feed them. This keeps the children happy. There's not much to say about this place, but it would, in a few months, a sister location known as Freddy Fazbear's Pizza would open up, and that would have a lot more animatronics. We'll get to that now. So Freddy Fazbear's Pizza would open up a few months later with much more animatronics. This restaurant would include Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy. It's much bigger than Fredbear's and has a larger audience, and it's also the first place to be built in with a safe room. So here you have Freddy Fazbear's Pizza and Fredbear's Family Diner, open at the same time in 1973. Nothing really much about this year, but we'll get on to the next one. 4 years later from the original Freddy Fazbear's Pizza closing, this is in 1977, and Purple Guy kills his first child here, and afterwards Purple Guy just drives off in his car, and the place closes later after that. The police are never able to pinpoint the murderer, and the Purple Guy gets away with it. Purple Guy can't control his lust for murder, and he kills 5 kids within the walls of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. These children are not saved as there is no one there to save them, and Freddy Fazbear's Pizza would close. In 1978, in an attempt to distance themselves from Fredbear's Family Diner and Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, Fazbear Entertainment opens up Circus Baby's Pizza World. This is an entire new location compared to the other two. But when one of the animatronics, Baby, grinds a little girl to death, the place closes. The little girl was actually Afton's daughter, and before the place closed, Purple Guy / Afton went on a killing spree and killed a lot of children who would haunt the animatronics when the place reopened a few months later. A few months later, when the place reopened, Afton applied for night guard and befriended the animatronics. But little did he know, the animatronics swarmed Ennard and scooped him, and Afton now looks like this. Ennard cramming itself into Afton disfigured his appearance, and he now looks like that. Sometime before this, Henry kills himself by letting Circus Baby kill him in his office above the sister location. So a recap: a child murderer gets justice when his own child and a bunch of other children create an entity to stuff themselves into him. So you might be inclined to think that the story is over here, but no, it's not. We're not even in the 80s yet, and Purple Guy still has more family members left, and we're about to move on to the next location in this restaurant. So in 1982, Afton reopens Fredbear's Family Diner, this time with a second animatronic known as Spring Bonnie. Now, it's been a long time since the first Fredbear's closed, so I mean, no one really remembers the murders or cares about them, but there's not really much to say about this place. It's a smaller location. The first time Spring Bonnie is introduced, Spring locks suits, and we're about to discuss why Purple Guy decides to murder a child here. William Afton is no longer making the decisions to kill. He cannot consciously make decisions anymore. It's Ennard, the robot inside of him possessed by the children, that's making these decisions to kill these kids. And why it's doing that is because, well, I mean, if they didn't get to live their childhoods, why should any other kids? So they decide to kill the kids. This murder gets the place closed, and the child that was killed by Purple Guy / Ennard just doesn't haunt anything. He just lingers around the restaurant. In 1983, Fazbear Entertainment merges Fredbear's Family Diner and Freddy Fazbear's Pizza together to form Fredbear and Friends. I think the puppet is in this restaurant somewhere, but we just don't see it at all. There are 2 more remaining children that Afton / Ennard has. And the big brother likes to bully the little brother, and you're about to see what happens. While the Purple Man / Ennard was working and he was busy, the big brother, shoved his little brother's head into Fredbear's mouth, and the spring locks came loose and crushed the little brother's head. Upon discovering this, Afton's daughter inside of Ennard remembers that remembers all the times the big brother was mean to her, and kills all the bullies. They all possess Freddy, Fazbear, and like Bonnie and Chica and Foxy. Here we see the Give Gifts, Give Life minigame, where the puppet is able to revive all of them, give them new life within the animatronic suits. Fredbear and Friends would close, but would later reopen, with most of the animatronics being shipped into the new location.